Now, Harrison, San Ysidro Ranch. Now, I hear a lot of famous people come here. Now, I know I do this whole ByDesign TV thing, but I've got to say, I'm not that famous. Am I going to fit in?
Of course you will. Everyone comes here to hide away from busy life, enjoy some peace and tranquility in the hills.
Is it a real ranch?
It is, but you know, it used to be a working citrus ranch almost 100 years before we opened for a hotel in 1893.
And it's been a resort that long?
130 years.
Okay. Is there someone famous staying here at the moment?
I can't tell you that.
Mark.
Mike.
Now,
Pleasure.
you were the architect. What was the brief here?
The owner asked us, what are the most important things about this place and what would you do? One of those things was the landscaping. The landscape and the garden are at the heart of what makes this place special.
Well, it certainly is memorable, but you've done this twice.
Yeah, sadly, less than 4 years ago, there was a very, very serious fire behind us here. All those mountains were ablaze. And that was followed about a week later by horrendous rain, which created mudslides.
Oh my goodness.
And the ranch gardens and many of the buildings were just wiped out. So the garden you're looking at now is the garden we did 20 years ago, but we also obviously redid it 2 years ago.
Okay, I get it about the garden, but what about the architecture? What was the inspiration?
Well, you've got a lot of historic buildings here. They've already got a strong character. We really had to do a lot to make the changes and upgrade. But in making those upgrades and renovating, I didn't want to lose what I felt was this important kind of softer, rougher aesthetic. This is an 1825 historic building. It's called the Adobe. It's a landmark building in California. The stone house was the old citrus packing plant back in the days before this was a guest ranch. This building here is an interesting case. Let's go inside and I'll show you.
Okay.
This was one of the buildings we needed to renovate and hopefully make it look like no one had touched it when we were done. But we had a problem. We wanted to put a basement underneath it. How do we do that?
How on earth do you do that? That's
well,
my question.
particularly when you consider this rather magnificent fireplace.
That's not going anywhere.
This is a pretty impressive hunk of masonry here. So we wound up cutting the wooden part of the building out around it. Ceiling, roof, floor, lifting the building up, jacking the building up, and just sliding it up over the fireplace, leaving the fireplace in place. Built the basement, dropped the building back down, patched it, hopefully in a way that no one noticed that we'd done anything at all.
Yeah, it's kind of like secret architecture.
Yes. Yeah,
Now, Mark, I know some very famous people have stayed here over the years.
Yeah.
Now, come on. What's the dirt? What do you know?
I'm not going to give it all up, but there's some examples over here on the wall that are fairly well known. Vivian Leigh and Laurence Olivier got married here. So
yes, very much the Hollywood set of the time.
Yeah. Wasn't all Hollywood. Here's Robert and Ethel Kennedy on a visit here.
Oh, yes, and I recognize these two as well.
Yeah, he's older brother here, was a rather famous guy who became president of the United States, and they honeymooned here. I mean, that's how well known even then the ranch was. Ever since they honeymooned, the cottage they stayed in was dutifully named the Kennedy Cottage.
Oh, wow, Mark. You can really picture the happy couple here honeymooning.
What's not to be happy about? This is pretty special.
And I guess architecturally, it's rather high stakes to renovate a place like this.
Yeah, I think that was true of almost every cottage because they're all unique.
Yeah.
No cookie cutter model room here.
Yeah.
This one is particularly special, I think. We enjoy the sunlight all day. Very Mediterranean thing to say because behind us are the mountains rising, out in front of us, a southern view towards the ocean. What's not to love? It's great.
I really love those cottages, Harrison. How many are there on the property?
There's 38 cottages.
Okay, I saw the eucalyptus cottage.
You did?
Fabulous.
Yeah.
And then there's the Churchill cottage. Now, don't tell me
Oh,
that...
yeah. It was named after Winston Churchill. He stayed here for a summer.
Unbelievable. So what do people do when they stay here?
Well, most don't feel the need to leave their cottages. And why would they, with fireplaces, backyards, private gardens?
I bet.
Why would you leave?
Yeah.
If only to come down here to the restaurants, dine under twinkle lights, by more cozy fireplaces with the most amazing food, paired with a glass of wine from our sommelier, pulled from our award-winning wine cellar, has 12,000 bottles.
Oh my goodness. Well, we are in wine country here, aren't
Exactly.
we? I'll drink to that.
Cheers.